Hi, let's solve this question. This question is taken from SPM 2021 Paper 2 Section C and is from your Form 5 Math Chapter 7 Linear Programming. Additional Mathematics panel will organize seminar score for some of the students from Class A and Class B. The number of students from Class A is X and the number of students from Class B is Y. The number of students selected is based on the following constraint. Okay, now it's better that we summarize all the given information nicely so that easier for us to form the inequality. So now I have two classes, which are Class A and Class B. Okay, so for Class A is X student, for Class B is Y student. Okay, for the part A, we want to write three inequality other than X is greater than or equal to 0 and Y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now the maximum number of students is 80. So here we have X student from Class A, Y student from Class B. So the maximum, when you see maximum, you know you have to use this inequality sign, right? So the first inequality is X plus Y is less than or equal to 80. Now how about this one? The number of students from Class B, Y, exceeds the number of students from Class A is less than 10. So forget about this one first. Just think about this. Y more than X, right? So I'm going to write Y minus X. Okay, now only look at this one. Less than 10, less than 10. Okay, this is a second inequality. Now let's go to the last one. The minimum, when you see minimum, you know you have to use this sign, right? The minimum number of students from Class B, Y, is 15. Y is greater than or equal to 15. Okay, these are the answer for part A. Now let's look at part B. Using a scale of 2 cm to 10 students on both axes, it means 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Contract and shade the region R, which satisfy all the above constraints. Okay. Now let's look at this one. These are the three inequalities that I wrote just now. X plus Y is less than or equal to 80. Y minus X is less than 10 and Y is greater than or equal to 15. So you have to know when do we need to use solid line, when do we need to use dotted line. So for this one, right, less than or equal to, when you see it, you have a equal to sign, so we have to use solid line. So here I'm going to use solid line for this inequality. But when we graph the inequality, right, we're actually drawing a line, a straight line. So if you want to graph this inequality, we need this line. We draw it with a solid line. Why? Because it's less than or equal to. Let me write over here. So this one I'm going to use solid line. This one I'm going to use dotted line because only less than, do not have the equal to sign. How about this one? This one I'm going to use solid line because it's greater than or equal to. Now, so you can just to draw a straight line, you just need 2 points, right? So you can choose any value of X or any value of Y to help you to get the point that you want to plot. Then you connect them together and you will be able to get the straight line. So here I'm going to set the X be 0, easier for us to count, right? So when X is equal to 0, okay, let me show you how do I get to 80 here. When X is equal to 0, Y is equal to 80, right? And then I set the Y as 0. So when Y is equal to 0, X is equal to 80, right? This is the way how do I get this all value. So same thing apply for this straight line. Okay, let me explain this one to you. Y minus X is equal to 10. You can use any value. You can set the X any value, but make sure you can plot it. Let's say you set the X value be 1000. Here no space for you. We do not see 1000 here, right? So that will not be suitable. Okay, now, so I set X equal to 0. Y minus 0 is equal to 10. So I know that Y is equal to 10. and then I set the x equal to 50. If you don't want to set it to 50, you can use other values as long as you can plot it here. So y minus x is equal to 10. When x is equal to 50, y is equal to 10 plus 50, which is 60. Okay, so after you got all this value, you can start to plot the point and connect them together. So now let's focus on this one first. 0, 80 here, 80, 0 here. And this one, I use solid line, solid line. How about this one? 0, 10 over here, 50, 60, 50, 60 over here. But this one, I use dotted line because only less than. If this is less than or equal to, then I'm going to use solid line. And this is very easy. Y equal to 15. It's just a horizontal line. And this one I use solid line y greater than or equal to. And then we need to shade the region and label it as R. Now, x plus y is less than. When you want to shade a region, right, make sure you look for y. What do I mean by look for y? Let's say if you have a graph like this, for example, this is y equal to x. If you see the inequality is like this, x is less than or equal to y. Some students see less than or equal to, then they will shade here, which is not correct. Make sure that look for y. So I will always suggest you write the y on the left hand side, like this. So it's actually, this is not a correct answer, but it should be above. And make sure every time you want to shade a region above or below, make sure that the coefficient of y is positive. Okay, now okay, some students might be curious, why do I say that we want to make sure that the coefficient of y is positive? Now let's look at this one. This line is x minus y is equal to 5. Let's say if I ask you to get this one, x minus y is less than or equal to 5. Try to think before I show you the answer. You have to shade here or here. So just now I told you that you have to look for y, right? Write the y on the left hand side, right? So now the y already on the left hand side, but the coefficient of y is negative. So some students might be thinking, okay, y already on the right hand side, so we can start to determine the region, which one we need to shade. Okay, less than or equal to here. Is it correct? It's actually not correct. Okay, let me show you here. X minus y is less than or equal to 5. Is above, not below. Why? This is what I told just now. Make sure that the coefficient of y is positive. Now, so if you are given this one, you actually can change it, right? So negative y is less than or equal to 5 minus x, right? Okay, and then times negative 1. So y greater than or equal to negative 5 plus x. Now only you start to shade region. Now it's very clear, greater than or equal to, above. Okay, so these are a few things that you need to be more careful when you want to determine the region that you want to shade. Okay, now let's go back to this one. X plus y is less than or equal to 80. Look for x plus y is equal to 80. So which means over here. Okay, and y minus x is less than 10 over here. The last one, x is greater than or equal to 15 over here, above. So we'll notice that this is a region that we are looking for. So we need to shade this region. Okay, so just shade it, this region and label it with R. Okay, this is R. Let's go back to the question. We have done this part, Okay, shelter region R. Okay, let's go to the last one. So this one you have to be more careful. For C1, find the maximum number of students from class B. Maximum number of students from class B. When you look at this one, okay, class B is Y. It's Y, right? So we have to look at the maximum value of Y. So when you will notice that this is a maximum point, right? And this is 35 and 45. But is the answer 45? No, it's not correct. Why? Since this is a dotted line, means that when the point is fall on this dotted line, it cannot be accepted. If this is a solid line, let's say this is less than or equal to, then the answer will be 45. But this is dotted line, less than, not less than or equal to. Therefore, we cannot use 45. We need to take another value. So here, if I enlarge that, you actually can see it's 44. So 45 cannot be accepted, right? So 44. So the answer is 44. Okay, so C1, the answer is maximum number of students from class B. This is 44. Don't have to calculate, just get from your graph. Okay, for part 2. This might be a little bit hard. All students that, the hardest part might be forming the equation. Once you can form the equation, it should be no problem. All the students that participate in the seminar have to pay a registration fees. Every student from class B is Y, has to pay a deposit of 4 ringgit. Means that they need to pay 4 ringgit first. So the rest they will pay later. While the student from class A will make the full payment on that day. Calculate the balance of payment that has to be paid by each student from class B. So we have to understand clearly what we are looking for. We want to find the balance payment for class B student, such that the number of students from class B is maximum, means that we need to use 44, this point, 44, and the total collection from all the students on that day is 400. Okay, when I look at our graph, right, let me enlarge it. So 44 is over here. Actually, there are two possibilities, which is the first one is 30, 35, 44. Another one, which this one, this is 36, 44. But I think the teacher who created these questions actually expect you to use this one. They want maximum number of students. I try to use this both to calculate. When I use this one to calculate, I get a non-terminating decimal, very long decimal. I think the author want you to use this one. So I will go with this one, use this one to show you how to get the answer. Okay, now from the graph, we know this or this, right? But I think the person who created this video expect you to use this one. So let me make it smaller. So I think the question should tell you that they want maximum number of students. If they tell you maximum number of students, so definitely no argument, definitely we will be using this one. Okay, so the hardest part will be forming the equation. Let me show you how to form the equation. So this is 36, 44, right? 36, 44. Yes, correct. Now, I will just let the fees be k. Let the registration fees be r m k. You can use any variable that you like. Okay, so I'm going to form an equation now. 36 is a class A student. They will make the full payment on that day, right? So 36 times k plus now 44 from class B, 44 times this is not K, but K minus 4 because they already paid 4 ringgit before. So this will be the total collection on that day, which is 400. But the K is not the final answer. Okay, now what we need to do next is get the value of K first. But the question is asking the balance of payment. So after you getting the value of K, which is the registration fees, you have to minus 4. Then you will be able to get the balance of payment. Now to solve this one, I think it should be no problem, right? Okay, let's solve this equation. 36K plus 44K. Okay, it's equal to 400. So this will be 80K, correct? Okay, correct. It's equal to 400 plus 176. It will equal to 576. So K is equal to 576. 576 divided by 80, you will get 7 ringgit and 20 cents. Now, the balance of payment for class B student is equal to 7 ringgit and 20 cents minus 4 ringgit because they paid the 4 ringgit as a deposit. So the final answer is 3 ringgit and 20 cents. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.